Well, this is me Saad Mustafa, and topic of my discussion is importance of white cane and impacts and awareness in media. So first, we are going to discuss about white cane, the representation of white cane. Basically, white cane is just like the eye of a blind person. You can say that with white cane, a blind person can see, he can explore, he can discover, he can he can access everything with the use of that white cane. And what does represent white represents? First, we have to understand that white represent that a person who is using white cane, it means a person is blind, and a person with lightning cane with some kind of red tip or a red cane represents he or she is a person who can see little. Who, I hope you guys know the term partially blind. So he is partially blind, you can say that. We have to discuss and understand that white cane is not only the cane only, it is a representation of the blind person. It makes you realize that a person who is walking with that cane is not only walking. This white cane is the whole identity. It is the identity of a person. That means he or she cannot see and explore and locate everything with the use of that cane. And of course, this cane means to him that this cane is his representation. Now, we shall go to the types of white canes. As you know that there are many white canes introduced nowadays. Some of the types are as follows. Number one, round tip cane or roller tip cane. Well, roller tip cane and round tip cane is the cane with which you can walk with the sliding technique. And what is sliding technique, anyways, you guys can ask. Sliding technique is that technique by which you can just walk with sliding your cane, not tapping on your cane on the floor. You just go through like that way, that way, yeah. With your cane, you can use just like that way. It means you're sliding. I just point up my fingers that way. That sliding means that sliding a cane with different directions. It means the person is walking with that cane, and that cane is called rolling tip cane, roller cane. Another type of cane is pencil tip. It is long in shape, narrow, and we use that kind of cane on the surfaces where there is a lot of unsmoothness. I mean, you can say that this surface is not smooth. So this type of cane is useful on that kind of surface. The difference between the difference between pencil cane and round tip cane is that with the help of pencil tip cane, you can walk on the surface where there is a lot of problems. For example, where there's no smoothness, where there is a lot of grass, you cannot walk with pencil cane. You can walk with only round tip or roller tip cane. But on the surface where there is lot of stones are there, lot of bricks are there, lot of things are there, uncomfortable environment. So it means that you have to work with the uh, pencil tip cane, and you have to tap your cane. Now we have discussed two types of cane. Another type of cane is lightning cane or laser cane. But after the World War II, this type of cane was introduced because Great Britain find that many soldiers lost their lives and many are infected with their eyesight. So this type of cane is very useful at that time because it helps them to walk and explore with the help of light, and that light is provided a lot of help for them. So this type of edit cane was introduced at that time. Now in after the 21st century, this type of cane is very different. There are various techniques used in that kind of cane, laser cane. For example, it is very useful nowadays. For example, it explains the other person who is coming with that cane and who is coming from the other side, that this person is blind, and you have to understand that this person is blind and he is walking with that cane. You have to help him. So it indicates that kind of uh, help. So we have discussed the types. Now history of white cane. When you're supposed to discuss the history of white cane, basically in 1964 a resolution was passed on 6th October 1964 to in the Congress for the visually impaired persons, that the White Cane Safety Day was to be celebrated. Then this resolution was accepted and the blind people were given identity. This cane was given the representation, and on the 15th of October till now, White Cane Safety Day is celebrated all over the world, including Pakistan. Now, what is the situation in Pakistan? As we see nowadays, that many people are getting opportunities. They are moving in the social media. Some are positive, some are negative. There are some kind of positivity in their attitude, but some are quite negative in their point of view, because they believe that with the use of that cane, they cannot establish their prominency, they cannot establish their identity. But let me clarify that this cane is the representation of the blind person. Without that cane, you cannot move. It represents you in all the spheres of life. So, a person who is not ready to walk with that cane is trying to hide his identity and prove himself that he is more efficient. But it's not true. If you find that kind of person who is not walking with a cane, you have to stop him and explain him that please walk with white cane. It is necessary for you. With the use of white cane, media is also realizing that with the use of white cane, blind people or visually impaired persons are getting a lot of opportunities in all fields of life, spheres of life. For example, they are getting education, they are getting government jobs. Even in government institutions, environment is given to them according to their circumstances. For example, every explanation is given. They give their best to the visually impaired person, mobility training, and everything is working. Different seminars, or even with the help of media, are arranged on 15th of October in Pakistan. But the problem is still that we are still developing. Plans are given, implementations, they promise every year to implement their plans, but everywhere we see no plan is still implemented. Nothing is working, but something sometime are working. For example, nowadays, then the government is trying their best to introduce the rights and give visually impaired person representation in the Sindh government. If I talk about Punjab, Chief Minister Shehbaz Sharif has given all visually impaired persons of Punjab, 100% visually impaired persons, laptop as well. So government is also realizing that blind persons are also getting education. And keep in mind, this is only possible with the help of and with the aid of that kind with which they walk, with which they train themselves, which they use and get benefits. Because it is the eye of them. But still, no such implementation is still possible as to promote the best opportunities for visually impaired person in Pakistan. But still, government is trying, people are trying, and I would like to quote some of the famous personalities who are successful in all spheres of life after their great struggle. Number one, Miss Saima Salim, who has got a degree from Kennedy College, and she has done her CSS with the third position, and she is working nowadays in Islamabad in a High Commission embassy. Another person, Mohammad Talha, has recently passed CSS in 54th position. Another example is Yusuf Salim, who is the brother of Saima Salim, has recently elected the state was given the role of honor by Muhammad Sarwar Governor, and is the judge in civil court. So opportunities are coming, people are realizing, things are moving, different training centers are working nowadays for the promotion of special education, for the promotion of mobility training, for the promotion of visually impaired persons' rights in Pakistan. It depends on us how we can take ourselves and our rights in the coming days. At the end of the day, I would like just to say, अंधेरों में उजाला देती है, because it's a quote, so I would like to clarify and stress it. अंधेरों में उजाला देती है, उजाले में अंधेरे से बचाती है मेरी सफेद छड़ी. And if you find some person going without white cane, you have to stop and say, why are you walking without white cane? Because it doesn't mean you are insulting that person. It means you are making him and make him realize and giving him awareness or her that without white cane you are nothing. For example, the without eyes, a sighted person cannot see, and he feel very uncomfortable. So without white cane, blind person's life is nothing. The white cane is just like the life of a blind person. I hope you like it. And it's me, Saad Mustafa, 61 role. Thank you so much.